Hello there, my friends. Oh my goodness gracious. Hello. It is already Wednesday again. How is that even possible? Um, but here's the deal. Keeps coming around. Um, and which actually leads me into this whole topic for today, which is your to-do lists are a mile long. You don't even know how you're going to get it all done. You might have even heard or seen the little meme or the saying that we all have the same 24 hours in a day, or we have the same 24 hours as Beyonce. Um, but here's the deal. Most of us don't have the teams right at your side that Beyonce does. So, um, how are we going to get it all done? Because it just feels like there's never enough time in our schedules to really make it all happen. And so I want to tackle that with you today. In this week's episode, I want to share with you my number one trick to simplify your schedule to get more done. Because I do have a lot of people who say to me, Erin, how do you get it all done? You have multiple businesses, you have a family, you have young kids, you have lots of things going on. And I just don't know like how you get it all done. Are you like Wonder Woman? And no, I am not Wonder Woman, but I do have some things that I do to allow me to get more done. So if you're joining me, say, hey, Erin, what's up? Let me know that you're here. I always love to know who is here with me on these Wednesday calls for the Erin Burd live show. And if you come in on the replay, I want to know that as well. I always come back in and we continue the conversation. So just in the comments below, drop a hashtag replay and let me know that you're coming in. Um, but I absolutely want to know who is here with me this morning. Hello there. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I am so excited to have you here with me today. Hello there, Gina. So here's the thing. If y'all are new here, I am Erin Burd. I am an author. I wrote the Passion and Profit Project. I support studio owners and educators who want to grow their businesses and create their own unique vision of success, but without the burnout, the overwhelm, or sacrificing your personal life. And hello there, Rachel. Good morning. Good morning. And so if you're joining me, I would love for you to say hello and for us to have this conversation, because I think as studio owners or educators here in our industry, we have a lot on our plate. And the unfortunate side of that is that it could cause us to become burnt out and overwhelmed. And that is not what we want. That is not what we want, because we become resentful and there's a lot of things that we harbor with us when we have that. So let me know. I want to know in the comments real quick, how many of you feel like your to-do list is never ending? Like, let me know in the below. Give me a heart, a like, or actually an angry face if you feel like your lists are never ending, y'all. Because you like have this list and you get 3 things done and you scratch it out, and then somehow there's 10 more on the bottom. I want to know. Let me know in the comments. Because here's the thing. We typically are overachievers here in our industry. We're overachievers. We love, or we have been brought up to know the bigger is better, right? The more is better. More rhinestones, more glitter, more razzle dazzle, right? Which makes us think that we have to do all the things. But the truth of the matter is we don't have to do all the things. And so I want to dive in on the number one way to simplify your schedule. And here it goes, you guys. First things first, have you actually done an audit to take a look and like really look at all the things that you are doing? on a day-to-day basis. And when I suggest this to my clients of doing an audit and literally documenting and writing down everything that they do, first of all, the look that I get is like, that's more time, right? You're giving me something else to do. But the truth of the matter is, hello, good morning. Until we actually take time to audit what we're doing, we can't see where the holes are or where the gaps are or where we're actually wasting a lot of time. And so the first thing to do is, well, I wasn't going to say it, right? Called herself out. She's like, you get that look from me all the time. And it's true. Here's the thing. We have to really take stock in what it is that we're doing. And the first step of that is really laying out like, okay, and now I suggest for my clients to do it for a full week, which might feel overwhelming to you at first. So I would suggest even just day or two, right? In that, what does your schedule and your routine look like? Because some of us think that we have like, oh, we have our schedule, we have our routine, but we derail from it so much all the time because we might feel like we get pulled in one direction or in another direction or something comes up and da, 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 da. And so although we have this idea of our schedule and our routine of what works best for us, if we audit it and we take a step back, are you being pulled from that schedule and routine? So that means like woke up at, for me, y'all, it's 4:30. Woke up at 4:30 a.m. That alarm goes off. I get my butt up, right? And I start my routine. And my routine does start, I have a habit. I get up before my whole family because for me personally, I need that me time. I need to, get on the treadmill. I need to read. I need to drink my cup of tea, right? I need that time without all of the noise and the chaos in our home. And so I get up at 4:30 and then I start my Okay, 5 o'clock, my husband gets up, right? And then I kick off my day and I start making lunches and I do things. And then at 6 a.m., I have a whole routine in the morning. And let me tell you what, it sets me up for success and kind of a hard nose, I guess, here in my home. But I make sure that my kids stay on their routine because it sets them up for success. And even when someone's like, oh, I want to stay in bed, I am not like, oh, you could sleep for a few more minutes. No, get yourself up and let's go. Right? So I make sure that I'm setting myself up for success every day. It starts with that morning routine. And the night before, I also go through and like revisit my top things that I need to accomplish. So that is something that I'm like, I set my intentions the evening before. I go to sleep, I wake up in the morning, and I get to work. Okay, so, but that's not my one simple thing. So this is kind of my routine. Who here has that routine? Who has a set routine that they try their darndest not to derail from? Let me know in the comments. I derail every day, all day, and never get anything fully accomplished. Okay, so we want to fix that problem. Okay, we're going to fix that problem today. I'm going to share that with you. So I want to know in the comments here, you guys, do you have like a morning routine that sets you up for success? Yes or no? Have you thought about it? Have you tried one? Are you having a hard time sticking to one? But I really do believe that it can set you up for success. Now, whether morning routine is at 4:30 in the morning for you, like it is for me, right? Your morning routine does not have to be at 4:30 in the morning. Your morning routine could be at 8. It could be at 9. It could be at 10. Whatever time works for you, because I know some of you are teaching in the studio until late in the evening. And so, 4:30 in the morning may not work for you. I totally get that, right? Okay, so no morning routine. Y'all, I could tell you that a morning routine was a game changer for me. So maybe that's the bonus tip. Okay, so you get derailed very quickly. Okay, so what I like to say, set your intention and your objective, right? So they are two different things. And I definitely like to look at, okay, well, what is my do I attend for this time? And then what is my objective? What do I want to accomplish with it? And so I start with that. So that's maybe like a bonus tip for y'all. But I'm just going to jump right into it. The number one way to simplify your schedule is actually a two-parter. I could just do one. The first thing is say no. How many times, and I have to tell you a funny story about that, but my to-do list felt never ending for a while because I was saying yes to things that actually did not align with my big vision and like what I truly wanted to accomplish. So let me give you an example. You all know, if you've been around for a while, that my family is my everything. They are my top priority above all else, right? And so my kiddos' school and the PTA, they were like, Erin, we know like you're super organized and we know how much experience you have with hosting events and recitals, like shows, that sort of thing, and we would really love for you to head up the school carnival. And the first year I said yes because I felt guilty, or maybe like it was my job or my duty to do that. And what I found for myself was that I was over obligating myself and actually taking away from my business and the things that I wanted to accomplish because I was managing this extra project. And while it turned out lovely for the school, and it was probably over the top because I've been called extra a few times in my life, right? Um, it did not serve me and my ultimate goal. And so then the next year came around and they're like, Erin, you're going to do the carnival again. And I said, no. And they're like, but what do you, I said, no, I am more than happy to donate the supplies you need. I'm more than happy to, give you guys a rundown of my system that somebody else can take over. But I am not going to invest my time into this project because it does not align with my ultimate goals. And the PTA was like, what? And that was, hard for me. What I realized is that all of those things that were not serving me and my business and my ultimate goals and my vision of success for me and my family, anything that did not align with that was an easy no. That was step one for simplifying my schedule. It was, I'm pulling away from all the things that don't align, right? So y'all, if I'm being honest, that meant, doing those sort of things for the PTA because I was set on growth in my business at that time. And it was being pulled away. The amount of hours that I was spending on this PTA carnival, I could have been spending building my business. So that was number one. I pulled away. I didn't do the book club. I pulled back on networking groups that I was involved in because, again, I was spending so much time on those things that I was not focusing on what was important to me. So that's step one. That's part one, is saying no, right? Saying no. And don't be extra, right? Like if it doesn't matter, you don't need all the extra rhinestones. It's not required. Say no, simplify, right? So that's number one. And the second part, which is really the number one way to simplify, is to then take and block your life. Time blocking is key, and only focusing on the tasks that actually matter. And if you're a studio owner, typically means revenue generating activities, right? It really does. And so the number one way to simplify your life is to time block. And so I wanted to share with you guys a little bit for me what that looks like. If you would like, would you guys like me to share that with you? Would it be helpful for me to show you how I simplify my schedule to make it all work? Let me know in the comments. Because if not, I mean, it's fine. I don't need to share you, like my day-to-day sort of things. But if you'd find it helpful, I would love to know. Let me know in the comments, and I could share that with you. But time blocking has been essential. Okay, I got a yes. So I guess I will. Okay, I will share it with you then. Yes. Okay, so here's the deal. For me, who here has a love for highlighters and post-it notes? Some might call it an obsession I have. Others get it. But here's the deal. I do have a color-coded time blocking, day blocking system that I use to make sure that I am focusing on the tasks that really matter. And I am delegating things to my team that are not those revenue generating activities, those things that are not maybe things that bring me joy or that are not in my wheelhouse. Because the thing is, yes, I'm a pretty smart cookie if I do say so myself. And I probably could do most things, but it doesn't mean that I'm good at all of them. And what it also means is that I'm probably spending more time trying to figure them out than if I just delegated those to somebody else who it is within their wheelhouse. It is something that they are masters at, right? And so, yes, I have different people on my team that are good at different things, right? One person can't do all the things and do them well, right? So for me, yes, delegation is a tool that I do use. And yes, I have people on my team who do social media graphics and do set up email sequences and do a lot of tech back-end stuff and updating websites and doing those sort of things. And you might be thinking, Erin, I'm not at that place yet, and that is okay. But what I want you to do is look at, well, what are those low-level things that I could delegate that don't bring me joy and that are not like a CEO level task, right? And that might be as simple as starting with someone to come in and to clean your studio, or heck, clean the toilets in your house. I hate doing that. So guess what? I don't do it anymore, right? Because the amount of time it could take for me to clean, I could be doing things like sharing here with you, which y'all, I absolutely adore and it brings me joy. Cleaning toilets does not bring me joy, if we're being perfectly clear. Right? Who loves, you know what? Can I tell you guys though? I don't, for me, I'm like, who would love cleaning toilets? My youngest daughter loves cleaning the toilets. I don't understand why, but she does. So that's one of her chores in between when our housekeeper comes, right? So that might be a thing that, hey, that takes one thing off of your schedule, which allows you more freedom and more free time. And whether that's to spend with your families, your friends, or on things that spark creativity and joy and bring you more money to your bank account, right? Yes, right? No on hashtag no more cleaning toilets. That's going to be like a new hashtag that I pop up there. But the truth of the matter is, y'all, we have to look at those sort of things. And so for me, one of the first, when years and years and years ago, when I made this realization, I reached out to a virtual assistant to take on like my monthly newsletters, things that I didn't want to create, right? To set up email sequences. I didn't want to do that. Those were all things that could I do? Sure. Did I want to do? No. And they weren't those high level things that were bringing me a lot of money in, but they were tasks that I felt like I wanted to do and I needed to do. I felt compelled, right? It was on my to-do list, but I didn't want to do it anymore. And so that was key for me. And then here we go into my schedule. So let's talk about this. So I pick and really only focus on certain things on certain days. So let me share with you. I'm breaking it down for you guys. On Mondays are I call them Money Mondays. And I call them Money Mondays for two reasons. I do review all my financials on Mondays. Okay, so that's number one. Then I go into deliverables. And when I say deliverables, so for me over here on the Erin Burd coaching side, on Mondays is I do a lot of coaching calls on Mondays. I have them stacked all day long on Mondays. I start with my mobile mastermind, their action and accountability call that we do Monday mornings. And then I go into my private one-on-one clients that I work with. So Mondays are all about Money Mondays. Those are deliverables. I am delivering what I'm serving on for people paying me to help them and move them along, right? So those are my Money Mondays. That is all I focus on. On Mondays, I do not write content for emails. On Mondays, I do not send over things to my VAs I don't do any of that. I only focus on, it's like, you know how horses have blinders, right? I put my blinders on and that is what I focus on that day. Then on Tuesday, right? Tuesday, I go into content creation. And this is where I'm working on my content to serve y'all and things that are going to, that I want to share. So just so y'all know, this weekend, we are having our free training on mastering your mobile program. And so on Tuesday, yesterday, I was finishing up all of the content for that. I was recording the videos for that. If you want to join us for the Mastering Your Mobile Program training that's happening this weekend in Facebook Messenger, drop a mobile below and me and my team will make sure to get you into that and to be part of that. But Tuesdays, I am working on content creation. That is, my blinders are on and that is what I am working on, right? Wednesdays, I'm here with y'all, right? So Wednesdays is my weekly live show that I do. And then I go into my meetings with my team, right? So Wednesdays are for a team. So right after this, I get on my call with Paula. And then after that, we get on, like I have calls and I have things that I'm working on with my team and projects that we're working on collectively that we do on Wednesdays. And that's it. I don't go back to Money Mondays and looking at financials. I don't go into content creation. That's done on Tuesdays, right? Thursdays. Right? We're already to Thursday. We're going to be to Thursday. Thursday is where I go in and I'm doing a lot of outreach and I'm talking to people. And Thursdays, I do split and I focus my time on our mobile program that we have, Birdies, and as well as here. So when I say I block my time, I'm looking at it. So Birdies is in the morning, afternoon, I'm working on some things over here. So I'm really blocking my time. And then Fridays, y'all, Fridays for me are, I call them my catch-up days and my personal days. So Fridays, I really try to block in on Fridays, those doctor's appointment, taking my kids to the orthodontist, going for sports physicals, right? Doing those sort of tasks that need to be done. But when I'm intentional, I look at, nope, that's my schedule. Right? I'm doing those on Fridays. It allows you to know and to have a rhythm, and you will actually get more done. If you try to switch back and forth between tasks and different things and doing all the things all throughout the day, you get less done. Now, I already know what you're thinking. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Erin, how does this apply in my studio? Because the truth of the matter is that I'm doing all the things, wearing all the hats. I'm going between teaching. I'm going between, right? I totally get it. I do. Been there. Get it. And so here's my 2 cents, 10 cents, 25 cents, $2 worth, I don't know, to you is this, that when you can focus on those specific tasks that you know need to get done and really just set aside time and use a timer, y'all. Use a timer to only focus on that specific task. So if it's, okay, Erin, I know I need to do social media posts. You're yelling at me because I'm not doing them, right? I'm not utilizing them enough. Okay. But when do I have time between teaching classes, answering emails, all the things? Block out specific times in your schedule. So if it's, Erin, I want to knock out, my whole month social media. Okay, set aside 2 hours on a, Tuesday. Close everything else down. Serious. Do not get distracted by email. Turn off, y'all, if you have notifications for email and all the going off on your phone all the time, turn them off. They're a distraction and they actually pull you from what you really want to do. And the other thing is, remember that if someone emails you, if someone calls you, if somebody messages you, you don't have to respond immediately. It is okay. Because if you have your brain turned on and you're working on social media posts and then you're getting all these dings and distractions, you cannot focus really at your task at hand, and you're going to go over there and then you're going to come back and it's going to take you twice as long to get back in the zone. So just set a timer. And when that timer goes off, you are done. Whether you got the whole month done or not, what I will tell you is this: you will have gotten so much more done than if you would have not. How many of you have used a timer before when you're working on tasks? Let me know. Okay. Uh-oh. You're calling yourself out. You're like, guilty right here. Okay, so turn everything, all the noise off. Y'all, I even got myself a pair of head canceling headphones because I needed to turn off the noise. And so do what you have to do, right? And that might be head canceling headphones. That might be getting out of your particular environment. I have a client who we were talking about this, and she had realized actually that she cannot work inside her studio because she's like, oh, squirrel, I see that this shelf over here hasn't been dusted and I need to go dust that. Or, ooh, like she was getting pulled inside her studio. She was trying to go in the mornings before the studio opened to do admin and to do some things and to do her dailies. And she found that she was actually getting really distracted by all of these other things that did not really matter. Now, I'm not saying that you don't need to dust your shelves, y'all, but my point is that she was getting so pulled and distracted that it wasn't working for her. And so we had to come up with a game plan of another location that was actually going to be the best work environment for her to get those sort of things done, right? So you have to find what works for you. But honestly, y'all, set a timer. Set a timer. It'll be a game changer for you. So when you combined day and task blocking with those timers, magic happens. because you also know that the timer is going to go off. And I want to know if I'm the only one here. I can't be, because I know that anyone who hangs around with me here are those overachievers. But, and here's where the but comes in. How many of you, like when you were in school, high school, college even, you were assigned a paper, but you actually didn't write it till the night before, and yet somehow you still got an A on your paper? That was me, right? That was so me. And let me know, was that you? Were you the person who wrote the paper? Right? Yes, no worries. It is being recorded and we will have a replay available for you. So no worries there, my friends. So let me know if you were the person to write your essay the night before it's due, or your report the night before it was due, even though you maybe had a week to do it, 2 weeks, but like for some reason you're like, my best, right? Yes, my best work happens in the 12th hour. Right? So here's what I know is we know that we can pull things out if we have to. And so what I know is this, that when we set that timer, there's something about that, like, oh my gosh, I gotta get it done, right? I mean, maybe I am reading your mind, but the truth of the matter is it's because it's me, y'all. Everyone, most of y'all who hang around with me are just like me. And this is what I know to be true. And so when we can shift and do a little bit of planning, like I told you the night before, I really look at what I have going on. And there are going to be times where my routine derails a little bit. You know, the other day I was asked to be on a podcast, and so that shifted my schedule a little bit. But it was also on a day that I was working on content creation. So it fell in line, right? So we have to do just a little bit of planning. It starts with that audit and seeing what you're really doing. And if we go for a couple days and you see that you're switching between tasks often, or you're going back and forth between things, you are losing a lot of precious and valuable time. The other thing that I have to share with y'all is that I also made a priority of, I will be the one to drop my children off to school, and I will be the one to pick them up 90% of the time. Again, it goes back to, there are some times where I can't. If I'm traveling to speak at a conference, if I'm hosting, the 100K, or if I'm hosting my client retreat that we're having away, like, of course, those days I can't do it. But it was a priority to me and a non-negotiable that 90% of the time I wanted to be able to do that. And I want to be present to be able to help with homework and go to the track meets and go to those sort of things. And so that also meant I had to shrink my schedule, right? So I'm now only really available for like mind work, right? Things I actually have to use my brain to do between 8 and 2. That's only 6 hours a day. But through this day and time blocking and my color coded system that I have, which I adore, and I have found that I could get so much more done if I can focus on specific tasks and I'm not jumping back between, back and forth. Let me see. Okay. All right, so I'm going to show this. I struggle with prioritizing, if I can talk, y'all. They are all top priority as much as I try to integrate small tasks into a daily routine. Okay, so here's the thing. It's that the struggle is real, y'all, and I'm not going to say it's not. The struggle is absolutely real when it comes to prioritizing tasks. And so here is what I could tell you about that. If you have not taken a moment to write out a couple things: your big why, your vision, and your core values and beliefs for your business and your family. It's hard to sift out what is actually important and what's not. And for me, I go back and I look at, okay, you guys, we all have this little device, right? That we have with us all the time. How many of you have a picture of your family as your screensaver, or a picture of your pets, or something beautiful? Let me know. What's your screensaver on your phone? I want to know. Not because I'm being nosy, because I want to share something with you. So, how many of us have that? Because we carry around this guy, right? It is with us. This is probably something we touch, see, feel more than anything else. Your doggies, of course, right? What if instead of that, now I'm not saying don't have them on there. I have my kiddos and my husband, our family, right, as my my lock screen, right? So there's two differences. There's a lock screen and then there's your home screen, right? But on my home screen is my priorities and my vision. It is my reminder that to not get distracted. Don't let me get, yes, an inspirational quote, which is great. But what if we added another layer to that? Right? What if it was, these are my my 3 go-to priorities? What is my vision for myself and for my business and for my family? Right? Because you see that, and what we focus on will grow. I'm going to take a drink real quick, because I'm choking here. So what if we change that? And so what I have to say I do love about working with my clients and what they have told me is that they love the fact that we do talk about their goals and their actions and their to-do. And because I'm an outsider, I can look and really cut through, why are you even worrying about that right now? That is not a priority, right? Just having that outside set of eyes of really is that really moving the needle forward to get you to that big goal? And if it's not, maybe you shouldn't be doing it, right? So if you're struggling with prioritizing tasks, here's my thing. I always want you to lean into your one thing. If you only got one thing done today, what would it be to actually move the needle forward and you would feel like a freaking rock star at the end of the day if you're like, I just got this done today. I got this done today. What is that one thing? Focus on that. And eat the frog. Do it first. And then move on with your day and going into those smaller tasks if you need to. Okay. So I know that maybe this actually ended up more than just one simple way, because I know that it is maybe multifaceted. But let me know in the comments. I want to know, what is your hashtag takeaway from today? Is it, day and time blocking? Is it you doing an audit? Right? I want to know what your takeaway is. And if you're coming back in on the replay, or if you're coming in late, let's break it down real quick. All right? Okay. So in today's episode of the Erin Burd Live Show, we actually talked about the one way to simplify your schedule. The truth of the matter is, though, it's a little bit more involved than that. And I had to give a couple bonus tips because I could not help myself. So Start with an audit. See what it is that you are actually doing day in, day out. And if you're switching back and forth between tasks, you're probably losing quite a bit of time. The second thing here is to look at your schedule and actually do a little bit of pre planning. I shared with you my schedule and what that looks like and my big blocks that I focus on what day to make sure I'm getting the most done and the most use of my time. Because I know we've all heard the saying, you've got the same 24 hours a day as Beyonce, but the truth of the matter is most of us don't have Beyonce's team by our side. And while we have people who might support us and we might have a team, we still feel like we have so many things on our plate. And kind of another bonus tip here was to really take and use a timer. Turn off all distractions and really dive into those things that are going to help you get more done. And it's a productivity and a time hack that has worked wonders for me. And if we're getting really real, the number one way to simplify your schedule is to cut out the fat, to stop doing things that aren't serving your ultimate goal or your dreams or the vision of success that you have for you, your business, and your family. Because when we overextend ourselves and start to help out with all the things, we are actually taking away from what we really, really want. And so I hope, and I have loved our time here together. And if you come in on the replay, let me know. I will jump back in. We will share. We will talk some more. Next week, I will be back on same time, same place for more business tips, more strategy, and more joy. Because I'm Erin Burd and I am here to support you as a studio owner, as an educator, to really just step into your own light, create your own unique vision of success, and to really see it come full circle for you. And that just brings my heart so much joy. And so until next week, my friends, I hope that you, stay awesome, and go kick your schedule's butt. All right. I'm going to leave you there, friends. I will talk to you very, very soon. And if you'd like to join us for the Mastering Your Mobile program training that we're having this weekend, super laid back, drop a mobile in the comments below and we will make sure to get you in on that. I'm going to leave you there. Have a fantastic day, y'all. And I will see you very, very soon. Bye, guys.